Today, we're going to talk about a tiny camera that people have big feelings about. Real quick before we jump into it, this isn't a technical review. I'm actually just going off of the top of the head and what I remember from a couple days ago when I used this camera for 3 hours walking around downtown Koreatown and taking pictures. I might get some numbers wrong for specs. Might not be there. You guys got other videos for that. You guys have the internet. You can research that stuff. I'm really going to give you my first impressions and my honest opinion on who I believe this camera's for, and whether or not it's worth it. All right, so before we explore the camera itself, let's first understand half frame photography and kind of where it fits and plays a part in this story. So traditionally in 35mm film, it produces images that were at 36 by 24 millimeters, and half frame splits that frame in half, creating an 18 by 24 image. And this allowed photographers back in the day when they were, shooting rolls of film to get twice as many exposures versus just shooting standard 35mm. Now, of course, those same limitations don't apply today in 2025 when it comes to digital photography. So you don't have to worry about having a limited number of exposures. Depending on the size of your SD card, you can almost shoot infinitely. But Fujifilm is trying to give us those creative limitations with this new camera. Let me explain. Now, when it comes to creative limitations, I feel like this all kind of stems from people wanting to shoot film. Of course, film photography is very expensive nowadays. You have to get it developed, you have to get it scanned, printed if you wanted. You also, of course, have to buy the film, and it's kind of a scarcity with film stocks being discontinued. And this new age of digital photography is kind of harkening back to film in some way, whether it be film simulations, the grain, the halation, light leaks, even the fact that you can print out a Polaroid and just have like a little photo is kind of harkening back to that old nostalgia feel. And like I said, I feel like this camera is bridging those two worlds. Film mode essentially kind of dumbs down your camera. So you put it in film mode that has this cool swipe touch interface, has two screens. You swipe down and you put it in film mode. You can select how many exposures you want to have per roll. So it gives you like a digital roll. You can actually pick which film stock you want, whether it be classic nag or Provia or whatever you want to use for this specific film roll. And then you could choose a number of exposures, whether it be 36, 72. And from there, it limits you to just those shots. To advance to the next frame, you have to use the film advance lever, which is like film. So that's kind of giving you that film-like experience. If I had like a tactile feedback and actually clicked or something, I feel like that would have been even cooler in my opinion, and kind of sold the gimmick. But when I was walking about doing the film mode and doing the advance lever, I felt that I could really turn my brain off. I know, of course, we all want an X Pro 4. I know we all want a GFX 50R Mark II, or I know we want Fujifilm to focus on the products that are the big, beefy, high megapixel, professional grade, amazing tools that capture images. But I feel like Fujifilm is the Nintendo of the camera space. You know what I mean? Like, let's say Sony, Nikon, Panasonic, Lumix, all those players in the game. Those are like the PlayStations, the Xboxes, the PC master race. They're focused on raw power, open gate, 6K, 8K, no rolling shutter, raw, ProRes, all this stuff, right? Where Fujifilm is just like, hey, let's just make a camera that's fun. Let's make a Nintendo Switch. You could take it around with you. You give it to a friend, they can play with it. Like, I feel like Fujifilm is Nintendo. They're zigging when everyone else zags. Like, they're not in the race that everyone's in. And I feel like if you love photography and if you love just taking pictures and capturing moments, then this camera is for you. Whether you be a camera nerd or if you're a tech, or a TikToker or Gen Z or whoever you are, if you like capturing moments, you're at concerts, you're at, just living life and you want to capture moments, this camera kind of embraces that feeling. The other feature that I thought was really cool is how they decided to do the half frame photography thing. Like, I thought that the dual image capture mode was really, really cool, where you can kind of stitch two photos together. They call it a diptych. It's like the technical term for this, but where you can have like, you know, two images that are sitting side by side and they're related, but they're different images, and it kind of helps you with like storytelling. Also with that 2-in-1 like dual photo mode, you can actually do it with video as well. So you can do a video and a photo, photo video, video video, photo photo, of course. So that's only going to lead to, I think, like really cool like those digital postcards that people always do on those video postcards, where you can have this way you can actually have a photo and a video next to each other. Now, of course, I was probably just like you watching this video, or like a lot of the people out there that have, you know, a big opinion or big feelings about this camera. I thought, man, who's going to use this camera? What is this camera for? I had the, you know, the big brain response, the big nerd photographer response, like, man, the megapixels, I mean, who wanted this camera? Like, half frame photography doesn't really make sense with digital photography, being that there's no limits. And then when I got there and I used it, like I said, I was able to turn off my brain and just take pictures. And I felt like that was liberating in a sense. And I began to realize, I was like, we have so many options in cameras out here. Every camera doesn't have to be perfect or check all of the boxes. Some cameras can just be fun. Now, we have to address the elephant in the room, the price. This is $850. Now, for a fun camera, I believe all my Fujifilm cameras are fun. I use Sony for business. Fujifilm is my fun time. But $850 for a for a tiny half frame 1-inch sensor, it's a lot of money. And I do have friends that are closely related to the retail space that have online stores, and they have told me that tariffs play a part in an $850 price tag. I'm told that it's actually closer to $700 before tariffs. So I can't wholly blame Fujifilm for the price, the current political climate, and where we're at as a country and what's happening in the world. Prices are just going up. At $700, it's still expensive, in my opinion, for what it represents and what it is. It doesn't check all of my boxes personally for what I want out of a camera, but it does check one major box, and that's just the fact that it's fun. One thing I do hope is that this kind of equalizes the market in a way to where people that are looking for this type of camera, because I believe this is made for the TikTokers and the people that want to just not think about photography and snap a picture. I believe it's made for them. So hopefully this alleviates stock constraints and supply constraints for all the other cameras out there, like the X106, that, you know, a lot of us want to get because we like the 40 megapixels. We like the image stabilization. We like the raw capabilities. We like all the other cool things that appeal to us as creatives. Hopefully it kind of creates a little bit of separation and gives another bucket for people to pull from. That's my take on the camera. I thought it was cool. Thank you guys for watching. It's been a pleasure as usual. Until next time, stay fresh. Peace.